Hi there, Sean Walker, Walker Tong D Boats here. Today I'm doing a review for ES G860 2.5 HVLP Gellcoat Resin Spray Gun. Now you look at it and say, hey, that's not a GS860. I know the GS860. Well, it doesn't look like it, does it? The GS860 has a blue finish on it. And this one doesn't have a blue finish on it because I took the blue finish off. First time out of the box I used it, I cleaned it with acetone on the outside of the gun, and the blue paint just started peeling right off. And you have to use acetone to clean a gun inside and out, and Gellcoat gun. And they know that, they say that, and they say that the blue paint will stand up to it, but it simply doesn't. I mean, this paint just scratches off, peels off. It's the only reason why they put paint on a gun is to hide the defects underneath it, because it's not a fine finish underneath it. And you look at it now, it's got a nice finish because I buffed it out on the buffing wheel. I got rid of that paint and I buffed it out. That way when the spray from the Gellcoat gets on this thing, I can use acetone and it'll wipe right off of it. They should have done that. It's a shame. They should be ashamed of themselves having a gun come out of a factory and charging, well, it's $120, which is not a lot. But the Harbor Freight guns look as good as this. This here without the paint. So they put the paint on to hide the defects. As simple as that. And the other thing about it is there's no O-rings and stuff in here, which is a good thing because you're spraying Gellcoat. And this is a touch-up gun. This is not a gun that you're going to spray Gellcoat for hours on end like on a big boat hull. I mean, you might get through it, you might not, because the fluid path on this is just like any other HVLP spray gun. And Gellcoat is jelly, right? And after, who knows, I used it for about a half an hour and it worked okay. Pain in the ass to clean, but I thought it was going to be a pain in the ass to clean. And it's a small touch-up gun. You're going to use this to fix up a problem on your boat where you did a repair, or in my case I'm using it to spray Gellcoat on the mold, a little touch-up on the mold. And for that, it works okay. I used it twice. I'm not going to give it a full review like I really know how good it is. I really don't know how good it is yet, but it worked okay. Now, the outside build quality you know about. They covered it up with paint. So what's the inside like? Well, the main nozzle in here was not the greatest. A little on the rough side. It wasn't a smooth finish on the thing. I tried to touch it up. Not much you can do to it. You can't really sand a needle. I mean, you can try, but the best thing you do is just to clean it well and maybe run it on a buffer really quick and don't do much to it. But it's not a good machine fit in here, and that's what you're supposed to have with a spray gun. So I can't say it's that great. Now, the other valves in here, this valve here and the trigger, it was okay. And the feed thing here, it's a little rough. I mean, the threads are a little rough on everything. And the big problem was, though, and this is right out of the box, is this valve right here. This is the air inlet valve. I took it apart, and it was all corroded and rusty, like something had been laying inside a gun or on the shelf for 10 years. It had a spring on it that was completely rusty. And the shaft on the valve, it was all corroded as well. Not as bad, but I had to sand it with really fine sandpaper and put some lithium grease on it. I lithium greased out a couple of these parts into here. And now it's a gun you can use. Right out of the box, it's not hardly a gun that you can use. I mean, I can't imagine somebody buying this gun and not be disappointed with it. You know, you get your hopes up, you think, oh yeah, for $120 I'm going to get a good gun or something. And you get something like this. So you're not going to be happy with it probably. On the other hand, I'm not going to give it a bad review because I used it twice and it did work okay. Now it's just a small touch-up gun. I mean, it's not a real expensive gun. It's going to be a great gun for you. But if you buy it, it'll probably work for you. Just don't get your hopes up thinking it's going to be something great. And I'd say out of 4 stars, I'd give it 2.5. Sean Walker, Walker Tong D Boats. Don't forget to have fun.